It was almost a perfect afternoon. Even in Oak Bend Woods, the sun struggled through half-bare branches, lighting up Drew's face when he turned to look at me. We tramped through thousands of brittle leaves, bound for the flat stones. For once, I'd remembered my scarf, the red one with soft tassels, the one that made me feel like a picture of autumn from somewhere else. If I closed my eyes, I could imagine the scorched smell in the air was from hundreds of chimneys all going at once, not drifting from the center of the woods. "Hey, Ellie, look," Drew said, stepping off the path and stooping under a knobbly tree. "Baby pine. You sketched these yet?" He rubbed a few needles between his fingers and handed them over, his palm brushing mine. Their bruised tang cut through the ash, and I breathed it in, reaching in my backpack for my notebook, loving the new branches with their hundreds of soft green spikes. "Looks like you've got this patch down," Drew said, bending to look over my shoulder at the page filled with trunks and ivy, spotted mushrooms and pines. "We'll find a new spot tomorrow." But there weren't many places left in these woods I hadn't sketched. Except, of course, the center. As soon as I worked up the courage, that's where I'd go, though it would have to be alone. Even Drew would try to stop me from heading there. His eyes were on me when I closed the notebook, and there was something in his gaze that set my heart hammering, though he didn't say another word. I slipped the needles into my pocket, and we ducked under the tree to the flat stones on the other side. 2 of them, like they'd been set there just for us. Like we were the only people left in the world, and there was nothing outside this place. Drew leaned back against one of them, muscles taut, his sky-blue eyes fixed somewhere in the distance. All around us, the trees creaked to protest at being interrupted in whatever trees did when they were alone. "Come back," I said, "from your 1,000,000 miles away." He smiled his slow grin, and it melted me. I almost slid straight to the ground. "Guess I was somewhere else," he said. "Sorry." "Take me there?" He shrugged, picking at the sleeve of his navy pullover. "Come on, Drew. That's the pact." "Okay, all right." He leaned forward, put his hands on his knees, and took a breath. "It's just, I'm not sure how to ask this." My heart stopped. Even the woods held their breath. "So I was thinking, maybe we could bring someone else in here, so they could see what it's really like." I jerked upright, the moment shattering. "You know we can't." He sighed. "I'm not talking the whole town, just one person." I stared at him, dread twisting my stomach. "Who?" "Look, I know how things are for you sometimes." He didn't meet my gaze. "I thought it might make it easier if you got to know her better, and if she got to know you." The woods pressed in until I could hardly breathe through the stink of ash. Drew had seemed off the last few weeks, distracted, but so was everyone else with the tension rising in our town. I'd never imagined this. Not this. "You mean Charlotte?" He looked up, then nodded. "You're kidding, right? Charlotte Levy?" His hands tightened on his knees. "Yeah, but it doesn't have to be here. We could go, I don't know, wherever you want." Charlotte was the last person I wanted to see in these woods or anywhere else, and he knew it. She turned on me in kindergarten and kept me out of every circle ever since, all the way to Bishop's Gap High. The girl looked like she didn't have a thought in her head except glossy hair and strappy shoes, but underneath she was a snake. All week she'd been watching me with triumph under the usual disgust, and now I knew why. She'd taken Drew. Just because she could. And he'd fallen for her, that was clear. Not me. Her. "Yeah, well, I already know her as well as I want to," I said, trying not to give myself away. "She's best in small doses." He flinched. "Don't do this. I'm not the one who started it." My voice came out too high, on the verge of tears, and then anger swallowed everything else up, turning the sunlight red. "You realize, right, you have to choose. I'm Caster and she's Levy. You know that." He stood, paced briefly in front of the rocks.